having suffered along with your family during the News of the World's vilification of you as a political figure standing up for the ordinary man, and you were hindsight now, Tommy, proud of your significant role in closing this corporate enemy of the people? And do you think we should be moving forward with independent media written and broadcast by Scots for Scots?
Do you want me to take that from someone or just answer? I'll repeat the question, folks, but I was going to say, do you want me to just answer every question as it comes, or do you want to take a number of questions? Just answer as they come. What I'll do is actually take, why don't I take the mic down? There we go. The question, folks, was in relation to the news of the world. Having suffered along with your family during the News of the World's vilification of you as a political figure standing up for the ordinary man, are you, with hindsight, proud of your significant role in closing this corporate enemy of the people? And do you think we should be moving forward with independent media written and broadcast by Scots for Scots? Brothers and sisters, I do not wish to make it a personal issue, because tonight is much, much bigger than me, Alex Salmond, the SNP. It's about the future of our country. I took a great deal of satisfaction, however, from being in a cell in Barlinnie to learn that the newspaper that had sent me there was closing. And the reason I was satisfied is because I'd said to the editor in Scotland, Bob Bird, that I would see him to the wall before he would see me to the wall. He in one of the court cases we were involved in, I put it to him that he was determined to break me and my family up, to split me from my wife with their tirade of lies. And I said to him, you tell your wee pal Rupert that he'll never break up me and my wife. We're stronger today than we've ever been, and we'll out-see you. Well, brothers and sisters, we have done that. I think the News of the World was a lying rag. I don't think it peddled news, I think it peddled lies. There is a lot happening just now which I can't speak about, but I can tell you that within 12 months, there'll be an awful lot of changes, including a quashing of a conviction on myself, and there will be a lot of stuff that I've seen now in terms of the documentation that has been gleaned from Operation Rubicon, which is the police investigation into News of the World's activities in Scotland, and you will be dumbfounded when you realise just how deep the conspiracy actually was. That's all I can say to you folks, and I can remember some people when I was accusing the News of the World of tapping my phone, and I suppose it's understandable, but some people were suggesting, some behind my back, some in front of me, Tommy, is at no time you went and seen the guys with the white coats? Because people thought I was losing my marbles, you know, oh, conspiracies everywhere. Now you speak to those very same people and they say, God almighty, Tommy, you were right. You were right all along. That's what these people were doing. They would stop at no lengths to try and destroy individuals who they thought they were a danger to their ability to generate profit. So I am pleased to have played a small part in the ruination of that particular organisation. And I do think that here in Scotland, we have to work hard after independence to have a more independent media that is dedicated to bringing us the news, not to bringing us some rich person's opinions of the news, but to bringing us the news and respect every one of us having the ability to make up our own minds instead of being force-fed propaganda. I think, to be honest, that the story that Marie gave earlier there about the YouTube views of the Kirkcaldy speech, I think that is a wee harbinger of the future. Because there's a speech in Kirkcaldy, 23rd of January, put up a week later, 110,000 people have decided to go on and watch that. Why have they not read about it in the papers or seen it in the telly? But yet, that shows you that people are finding their own way to the news and their own way to other ideas. And I'm very, very hopeful that that in an independent Scotland we will have a media that we can be proud of instead of a media that we're ashamed of.
Yes. Tell me, what do you think our chances are of Scotland getting back at 6,000 square miles of sea stolen illegally by Tony Blair and Westminster Parliament without even a consultation of Scotland if we get our independence? Do you think that can be decided, that Scotland regains that 6,000 square miles of sea? Because otherwise, the way I see it, is they invaded Scotland's territory, and it was a direct invasion of Scotland as far as I'm concerned.
I think everything is up for grabs, brother. I do think that the bluster and blunder that we're getting just now from the Westminster Village is all about frightening everyone. We'll not get the currency, you'll not be able to get rid of nuclear weapons, you'll not be able to get your fisheries land back, you'll not be able to, we're not going to support the idea that the oil reserves are actually Scotland's. All of these things are based on trying to frighten us. I tell you loud and clear, the day after we vote for independence, they will be at the negotiating table and they will be looking for the best deal they can get, but they know that they cannot ignore the democratic will of the people of Scotland. I thought it was brilliant today to hear the story about 75% of 16 and 17-year-olds have registered to vote. You know, I was one of those in Parliament that has fought long and hard for 16 and 17-year-olds to get the vote. I could never understand how you could pay taxes, you could get married, you could join the army, but you couldn't vote. I thought it was rubbish. We decided, didn't we, that we were going to allow young people to have a say in the future of their country. And it was scoffed at by some of the middle-class charlatans who looked down their nose at young working-class kids. Oh, they don't know enough. Some of them know more than their mums and dads as far as the politics is concerned. That's the truth of the matter. 75% have registered to vote. I hope each and every one of you are going to take a wee note of that notebook and make sure that you and your families and your friends are registered to vote. Because what we don't want, I mean, I'll accept it, I'll be honest, but what we don't want is a 51% majority. What we want is a 60, 65% majority. That's what we want, a decisive yes vote that says to these people in Westminster, you tried to bully us, you tried to frighten us, well, it didn't work, it backfired. That's what's going to happen.
Right, I'll just put this one in layman's terms because you can never scare me, right? Anyway, what's going to happen to the benefit system? I mean, I'm part of a hard-working family, and I look down my street and I see people on benefits that go on caravan holidays, people that could go to Spain 4 times a year. Yeah, my family could go once, and the struggle with that. Is Scotland going independent? Is that going to make it, the benefit system harder so it gets the lazy, blood-sucking leeches off the benefit system and straight into work?
Rebecca. Rebecca's asked a question and she asked it with passion, and I respect 100%, Rebecca. I don't agree with her. I don't agree with you, Rebecca. My experience as a councillor in Pollok, which was a very rundown area in the south of Glasgow for 11 years, and as an MSP for Glasgow for 8 years, was that for every one person who was at it, there was at least another 98 or 99 that were genuine benefit recipients. So I don't deny, and by the way, there is no perfect system. It doesn't matter whether it's the bowling club, it doesn't matter whether it's the football club, there'll always be some shyster, there'll always be somebody at it and trying to make a quick buck and no pulling their weight. We know that. That's just a fact of life. But to portray the exception as the rule is wrong. And I don't think we have a country full of benefit fraudsters. In fact, I know that we don't have a country full of benefit fraudsters. I gave the statistics at the last meeting. The TUC carried out an opinion poll among over 2,000 people, and they asked, what do they think is the level of benefit fraud? What is the level of benefit fraud? And the response was 30% of the population. 30% of the population. They thought that was how many of the benefit claimants were defrauding the system. 30%, almost 1 in 3. The actual figure is 0.7%. Less than 1%. Read your Daily Mail, read your Sun, read your gutter press, you would think everybody was at it. The truth is, in my opinion, Rebecca, you will find, if you look hard enough, and certainly in our own streets and our own housing schemes, we will find people who could pull their weight a bit better. But for every one of those people, there will be genuine benefit claimants who need support and need help, not condemnation. In an independent Scotland, I want a robust benefit system, but I want a generous benefit system. I want a benefit system that recognises the real cost of bringing up children. I want a benefit system that recognises the real cost for pensioners. I want a benefit system that doesn't penalise pensioners for saving. I find it incredible. My 2 grannies died and were penalised because they had private pensions. Works pensions. When I say private pensions, I mean works pensions. They were encouraged all their days, paying at your work pension, paying your work pension, paying your work pension. They did that. They paying into their work pension. What happened? They were denied council tax benefit. They were denied housing benefit. Why? Because they had a wee works pension. I want a benefit system in Scotland that disregards that level of income. That helps all of our pensioners. We're an oil-rich, resource-rich country. We can afford to help every single one of our pensioners. And by the way, if that means helping some rich pensioners, then what we do is we tax them at the other end. We tax income properly. That's what we do. So I apologise, Rebecca, if it's not the answer you're looking for, sister, but at the end of the day, I've got to give an honest answer. I don't think the benefit system has been ripped off by people. I do think there are exceptions, but they're not the rules. But thanks a lot.